The Physical Infrastructure Committee has today gone on to meet different stakeholders in the preparation of the Landlord and Tenant Bill 2021. Today's meeting was with the city landlords and business owners who own some of the prime real estate, shopping malls and arcades in the country.
We want this committee to help harmonize and create a win-win situation where it is a constitutionally you must also protect the landlords and the tenants.
While meeting the MPs sitting on the committee, the landlords asked the committee to revise clause 23.2 of the bill, which restricts payment of rent only Uganda shillings. The landlords argue many business transactions are actually taking place in dollars, hence the need for them to charge in dollars.
The proposal is that the parties should not be deprived of an opportunity to agree otherwise. Reason being that where parties have agreed in a tenancy agreement to provide for payment in any other recognized currency or payment of Uganda shillings pegged to a particular rate of agreed currency, that should also be accommodated.
This is Uganda. We have our currency. Why should a small mother of mine who is operating or renting your premise on Room Street be charged in dollars when whatever she's selling is in shillings?
When I travel and I come back to Entebbe Airport, the government of Uganda charges me $30 in dollars, not even shillings, in dollars. But they say you can pay equivalent in shillings. So our view is that since we are a free market force, all our tenants should pay in shillings, maybe equivalent to the dollars. We're not saying you just bring dollars.
Like some of the anchor tenants that we have don't mind paying rent in US dollars. So why don't we give them the opportunity to mutually agree with the landlord if that is what they want to do? And if that fails, or if they're being forced to do that, then they can revert back to the law.
You are free to deal with that other side, but in the law, we cannot put the duo that you are free to use the forex, or the landlord will insist and say, since it's a duo, me I want in forex, and we shall not be there again to call back at the law to remove and put right.
The landlords also want clause 14B and D revised. In this clause, it's the obligation of the landlord to pay for utilities in case there is no separate meter.
It's not practical that where you have a common toilet, there should be a meter for whoever goes there. It's clearly impractical. I think there is need to revisit this particular provision.
Each of those shops which have been clearly demarcated, like that room 102B, should have a meter. And in that shop, sometimes you may find 5 people. There, let them share the cost of whatever electricity has been consumed.
Umeme has refused to give us Yaka meters. Umeme said we'll only give you 1 meter per building.
The landlords also accused tenants of mismanaging houses and intentional default. They now hope for what they call a fair law, which can streamline the landlord and tenant relationship.
If you can have a fresh page for Ugandans, to work with Ugandans, these things will not be there. Because even if you put it in the law, you know what will happen down there. So me, I would want you that we are moving into an era where people are living beyond their mean. You also have loans in the banks, but have that mutual mutual relationship with those people who are in your buildings.
Most of the times, if the tenant delays 1 or 2 months, we're not really, we're not that hard that you just throw them. We give them time to sort out. But if there's a consistent after 3 months, 4 months doesn't pay, if you don't pay your water, electricity after...
The committee will be reporting to the Committee of the Whole House shortly after meeting all stakeholders. Ramson Mihire, CTV PM Edition.